We're glad to have you streaming with us on this Friday. So we got some news today. ICE agents investigating allegations of a serious federal crime at the Hyundai plant in Georgia. So Tyler Fingert is on top of the story. He's joining us now with what's going on.
Yeah, just west of Savannah. It happened yesterday. Federal officials less than an hour ago held a news conference to talk about all of this. Obviously, this is big news because that plant is one of the largest. Actually, the governor has touted this as the largest economic development project in the state when the Hyundai plant opened last year. This is not specifically at the actual Hyundai manufacturing facility, but it's on the same property. It's regarding the battery plant that is slated to open next year. According to the feds, today they told us today that 475 people were taken into custody after being found to be here illegally yesterday. Officials say the operation specifically happened at the construction site for an adjacent battery plant that is slated to open next year. The battery plant is a joint venture between LG Energy Solution and Hyundai Motor Group. Earlier this year, the governor and other officials referred to the site as the largest economic development project in the state's history. Officials say the agencies conducted what they're calling a search warrant as, quote, part of an ongoing criminal investigation into allegations of unlawful employment practices and other serious federal crimes. South Korea on Friday expressed concern and regret over the U.S. immigration raid at the sprawling Georgia site where South Korean automaker Hyundai manufactures electric vehicles. South Korean Foreign Ministry spokesperson described the number of detained South Koreans as, quote, large, though he did not provide an exact figure. Officials did confirm today that the vast majority of those arrested were South Korean nationals, but they also couldn't provide a number during that 10:30 news conference. Hyundai and LG's battery joint venture, HLGA Battery Company, said in a statement that it is cooperating with the appropriate authorities and paused construction of the battery site to assist their work. But again, that news conference was held just about an hour ago. Take a listen to a portion of what happened and why officials say they were conducting this.
This was not an immigration operation where agents went into the premises, rounded up folks, and put them on buses. This has been a multi-month criminal investigation where we have developed evidence, conducted interviews, gathered documents, and presented that evidence to the court in order to obtain a judicial search warrant. Yesterday, we executed that search warrant and gathered additional evidence that will support this investigation. There are no criminal charges being announced today, but this is an ongoing matter. While we were on the premises, we did encounter many hundreds of individuals. Of those, as I've previously mentioned, 475 were illegally present in the United States or in violation of their presence in the United States, working unlawfully, who have entered through a variety of different means into the United States, some that illegally crossed the border into the United States, some that came in through visa waiver and were prohibited from working, some that had visas and overstayed their visas. And each individual was questioned on their status, their documents were checked, their backgrounds were checked, and ultimately through coordination of our experts and attorneys in the background, those that were found to be illegally present were then detained and turned over to ICE enforcement and removal operations custody.
And again, that is one of the, I just want to make sure I get his title right. He is the Stephen Schrank. He was a special agent in charge of HSI in Atlanta. He was down in Savannah talking about this operation that happened yesterday. I mean, a massive operation. According to officials, this is the largest federal raid in the country that's ever happened. Wow. So this is the largest one. 475 people arrested yesterday, the vast majority South Korean nationals. As I said before we played that soundbite, this has South Korea obviously not happy.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure Georgia officials are also not happy with this. I know Governor Kemp released a statement yesterday. For many, this is a push and a pull here. This is an investigation from the Fed side where they're talking about they want to be able to have fair employment practices. They want to protect employees, whereas you also have officials here in the state who are really loving this economic development project for our state. So you have to obviously weigh that. For the federal officials, they want to make sure that employees are being treated fairly, and they want to make sure that they're following federal law when it comes to employment practices. During that news conference, what was also mentioned, Elise, was the fact that these people were employed by so many different groups. They're still trying to sort through whether they're actually employees of Hyundai or whether they're employees.
Contract workers, yeah.
Oh, and they said there were so many subcontractors on this project that were then also being contracted out even further. So there's a lot of different people at play here. So they're still trying to figure all of that out. Obviously, a huge raid. The fact that it happened in Georgia and it's the largest in the U.S. history for the Homeland Security Department is pretty interesting. We're going to have to wait and see how all this plays out and how this affects the plant going forward, because overall, down in South Georgia, over near Savannah, just west of Savannah, we were there for the grand opening in March. It's a beautiful facility. Again, this is not the actual facility that is developing and creating those Hyundai electric vehicles, but it's on the same property, the mega site that they're calling it. So it's all intertwined. Yeah. And they said that this investigation has been going on for months.
Well, it's kind of like you said. I mean, this is something that has been touted as being massive in scale.
Billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars.
I think 7.6, if I remember correctly from my previous reporting.
Yeah, so a lot at stake here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I believe it was a commercial I saw a couple of days ago for Hyundai where they're talking about these. Actually, it was during the U.S. Open. I was watching it on a plane, a commercial where it was saying about Hyundai electric vehicles are being built right here in the U.S. and it's in Georgia. And they're highlighting this. It's a big thing for them. I mean, obviously, Kia has a plant here and they're all the same company. Big picture. They're over by West Point. We have this near Savannah. There's a lot at play here for Georgia because there's a lot at stake for tax revenue, and obviously it's a big name to be able to have Georgia listed on the sticker. I know I have a Hyundai vehicle that was manufactured in Alabama, and it's like you get to see it says made near Montgomery. Yeah. And so it's kind of cool to be it's made in America, even though it's a different country's company. It's still nice to be able to say you have a vehicle that was made and built in America.
Of course. Tyler Fingert following the magnitude of this story, all the directions that it continues to turn. Again, a story happening right here in Georgia. Tyler, thank you so much for that. It's a lot to get through, and we appreciate you walking us through that step by step.
We're going to have an update on Fox 5 News at noon, and then also at here on Fox Local at 3, and then 4, 5, and 6.
Got you covered. All right.